Greetings from the European front. Welcome to another installment of World at War. In this week's episode, titled OMAHA, we experience the Allied invasion of Europe on D-Day through the eyes of Private Sam Gardner, a young American GI from A Company of the 5th Infantry Division. A harrowing tale of the beach landing that changed the course of the war awaits you. Good luck, soldier.
June 6th, 1944. My dearest Anne, I felt the need to write you because I truly have no idea what will become of me once this ramp drops. Your love is the only thing that will keep me alive once my boots hit the sand. Do you remember that night in the city last summer? I'll never forget the way the moonlight kissed your face, and I knew in that moment that I was going to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't even begin to describe the way that you— Ready up, Gardner! Put that shit away and get ready to storm this beach. These Krauts are dug in and fixing to give us every ounce of lead that they got, and they sure as hell don't give a damn about your sweetheart back home. Look alive, men. This is what y'all train for. 30 seconds, men! Good luck, mates. You're in God's hands now. This was it. I vomited not from seasickness, but from the unbearable anxiety of what I was about to face. The coxswain blew his whistle as he wedged the landing craft into the sandbar and let down the ramp. Immediately, the German MGs began tearing through the first few rows of my men. Somehow I managed to sprint off to the left side of the ramp as a burst of enemy fire ripped through the chest and head of the guy in front of me. Poor bastard. Had he not been standing where he was, that would have been me. I managed to make it onto the beach as bullets whizzed past me, kicking up water and sand all around. I spotted Cap and the Sarge taking cover with some other men behind a metal beach obstacle. Sergeant Ross yelled over to me, "Get your ass over here, Private! Keep your fucking head down and do not stop moving!" A mortar exploded a few yards to my right, sending a torrent of blood and gore at me as I dove into cover with Cap and the Sarge. "We can't stay here! If we don't move, we are dead men! Sergeant Ross, take the right flank with Jenkins and Avellino. Gardner, McAllister, you're with me. On my mark. Now! Go, 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 go!" As our squad sprinted from our cover, Ross, Jenkins, and Avellino rushed towards an impact crater to seek new cover. McAllister and I followed closely behind Cap as he led us to a group of supply crates halfway up the beach that we could use for cover until we had to move again. Men are being cut down all around us. I had to tune out the screams of the wounded and dying for the sake of my own self-preservation. We're almost to cover when McAllister becomes hysterical. "I can't fucking do this! We're gonna fucking die!" The sniper round went through his temple like a knife through butter. McAllister ceased to exist within a matter of seconds. His last word was die. I fired a full clip from my M1 into the concrete bunkers that lined the seawall, and as I went to reload, I peered to my left, only to see the burning corpses of my sergeant and two squad mates. I fought tears and vomit as Captain Williams and I prepared to advance. "We have to push forward and get off this goddamn beach. As soon as you hear that MG-42 stop firing, make a run for that seawall. You need to run faster and harder than you ever have before, Gardner." "Yes, sir!" "Now, Private, now!" We emerged from our cover and ran through a hail of gunfire and artillery shells. There were scarce remains of men strewn about the beach in every direction. While trying to shut out the horrors surrounding me, I suddenly realized that the seawall was only 10 yards or so away. We're almost off the beach. Captain Williams was nearly there, only a few strides ahead of me. My ears ring. My eyes are filled with ash. I blink wildly to clear my vision. As my sight begins to focus, I notice two smoldering boots ahead of me. It was the only thing left of the captain. God damn it. The dust cleared and I slowly took one labored step forward. I didn't even realize I was hit until one of the corporals from B Company looked at me in shock and began shouting for a medic. That's when I felt myself begin to crumble at the knees and fall backwards onto the sand. I landed flat on my back. The clouds were so gray, it was almost calming. For a second, I almost forgot where I was. The medic rushed to my right side and shouted into my ear, "I'm gonna give you some morphine, Private! You're gonna be just fine!" A millisecond after he stuck me with the needle, I felt a warm splash on my face. It wasn't the warmth of the morphine I was feeling. I looked up at the medic, his body leaning over mine, held up only by his rifle that he had wedged into the sand in order to treat me. Only a bottom jaw remained where the medic's head had been. Ah, fuck. I could now feel the warmth of the morphine coursing throughout my body, but it didn't last very long. Soon, I was cold. I was bleeding out. Knowing now what my fate was, I reached my right arm over toward my left pocket, only to realize that my hand was gone. I can feel myself fading away now. With what little energy I still had, I forced my left hand awkwardly into the pocket, and I felt my fingers grasp her picture, which was now covered in blood. Was it even my blood? Who could even tell at that point? My vision's getting real blurry now. I held her photo in front of my eyes. As I took my last breath, I realized that I was never meant to make it off of this godforsaken beach. I would never return home to my Anne. As the life left my body, all I could see was a window into a future that would never be. I belonged to this beach now.
Young Sam Gardner was one of the many who made the ultimate sacrifice on that fateful day. But without their bravery, victory would never have been achieved. Join us next week for another exhilarating episode of World at War, where we find ourselves in the shoes of another brave soldier during World War II. This has been a Nick Torch production. See you next time, soldier.